Ukrainian shelling of a Russian-controlled village in the Luhansk region of eastern Ukraine killed at least 11 people on Friday and 20 were missing, the Russian state news agency TASS reported, citing emergency services. The shelling hit the village of Lontrativka, a settlement close to the border with Russia. Leonid Pasechnik, the Russian-installed administrator of the region, said in a post on his Telegram channel. Reuters could not immediately verify the battlefield reports. TASS reported emergency services as saying 11 people had been killed, around 20 were wounded and another 20 were unaccounted for after a building was hit by a Ukrainian missile strike early in the morning. Pasechnik called the attack barbaric and said Ukraine was targeting residential neighborhoods, schools and shopping districts in an attempt to kill as many people as possible. There was no immediate comment from Kyiv. Thousands of Ukrainian civilians have been killed in the war that Russia launched on February 24 in what it calls a special military operation to disarm its neighbor. At least 2 died in the central city of Kryvyi Rih on Friday as Russia pounded energy facilities across Ukraine. Russian-backed Luhansk officials at the Joint Center of Control and Coordination, a ceasefire monitoring body set up to help manage the conflict between Russian-backed separatists and Ukrainian forces after 2014, said Ukraine had fired 3 US-made HIMARS rockets at Lontrativka at 4:10 a.m. 0210 GMT on Friday. The head of the People's Militia in Luhansk also reported on his Telegram channel that 1 civilian had been killed by Ukrainian shelling in the town of Svatov on Friday morning. The head of the People's Militia in Luhansk also reported on his Telegram channel that 1 civilian had been killed by Ukrainian shelling in the town of Svatov on Friday morning. The hundreds of Russian drones hovering ominously over the Ukrainian battlefield owe their existence to an elastic, sanctions-evading supply chain that often runs through a shabby office above a Hong Kong marketplace, and sometimes through a yellow stucco home in suburban Florida. The Sea Eagle, Orlan 10 UAV is a deceptive, relatively low-tech and cheap killer that has directed many of the up to 20,000 artillery shells that Russia has fired daily on Ukrainian positions in 2022, killing up to 100 soldiers per day, according to Ukrainian commanders. An investigation by Reuters and iStories, a Russian media outlet, in collaboration with the Royal United Services Institute, a defense think tank in London, has uncovered a logistical trail that spans the globe and ends at the Orlan's production line, the Special Technology Center in St. Petersburg, Russia. Based on Russian customs filings and bank records, the investigation marks the first time a supply route for American technology has been traced all the way to a Russian manufacturer, whose weapon system is used in Ukraine. The Special Technology Center, which once made a variety of surveillance gadgets for the Russian government and now focuses on drones for the military, was first targeted by US sanctions after President Barack Obama said it had worked with Russian military intelligence to try to influence the 2016 US presidential election. The sanctions, which took effect in 2017, barred any American citizen or resident or US company from supplying anything that might end up with the Special Technology Center. In March of this year, the US government tightened those restrictions by blocking all sales of any American products for any military end user, and effectively blocked all sales to Russia of high-technology items like microchips, communications and navigation equipment. None of that has stopped the production of the Orlan drone. The Special Technology Center did not respond to a written request for comment, but one top scientist, who is also a major shareholder, said in an interview with Reuters that the company was experiencing a high demand for its drones,